All right, so I was kicking back the other day. I know I got my feet up. I'm just sitting in the ether, drinking a beer. This is an actual picture of that moment. I was chilling. And I thought, you know what this beer needs? You know what the problem is? It's got too much alcohol. It needs less alcohol. And so I started doing some Googling, and I found the solution. And it's an easy one. Heineken 00. 3 reasons in particular that you need to get yourself on this train, all right? So first off, it's got that same great Heineken taste. You know and love some Heineken. It tastes like some good old, piss water on the tongue, got some bubbles in it. It's delicious. You get that. You still get that. You don't lose that just because you're losing the alcohol. Don't think that. What you do lose is the enjoyment. But that's not important. You get to remember the experience. You can have a Heineken 00 with a nice steak. You can have 6 of them, right? And you can still be enjoying that nice steak. You don't forget that you're eating and accidentally poop yourself. You're enjoying some Heineken. All right, and this taste is endorsed. I'm not just coming out of nowhere saying, my boy, President George W. Bush said it is my favorite non-alcoholic beer. And we can trust him because he's an alcoholic. So, next, you can still get trashed.
I think he froze.
Okay, you get if your sodium content falls, you get fucked up. So, how do you do this? Well, you just consume in a short period of time. Now, all you need to do is take about 3 to 4 liters or about 30 Heineken 00s, and you start feeling all the classic symptoms: dizziness, headaches, forgetfulness, kidneys shutting down. I'm talking the classic Heineken experience, but you also get to impress your frat bros. Because while they're feeling this after 7, you feel it after 30. So that's a win-win in my book. All right, and third, the clientele expansion, huge. Normally Heineken is just reserved for middle-aged men in a crisis, but now Muslims can drink it. Mormons can drink it. We know the Mormons need to get fucked up. Pregnant women can drink it. And it's not just for that. Their babies can have it too. Heineken 00 is for almost all of us. Almost all of us. There's really only one big demographic that should steer clear at all costs. And that's the people of the Skintight outrage audience, because they need to be as drunk as possible to come to our shows. So very cool. Thank you very much.
Mr. Ash, phenomenal. Thank you so much for your insight. My question was, what the fuck is that scarf?
So these are cartoon characters that were definitely clear, but we weren't ready for that conversation yet in our modern era. Starting us off, we've got Bert and Ernie. They owned an apartment together. They had stylish striped shirts, probably shared a bedroom. Bert's on the top bunk. They're often seen sharing each other's clothes. And if you had any doubts about the validity of my claim, Jim Henson himself came to me in a dream and confirmed that these two support marriage equality for all. Second, we've got Molly from Arthur. I'm talking a butch icon. She's got the jean jacket. She's got the hair covering her eyes. If you liked her as a kid, you're probably gay now. This is the litmus test for individuals going into the fashion world. Mr. Ratburn from Arthur is gay. He had a wedding on a canonical episode in about like season 12 of Arthur. Next, we're going into Team Rocket. They cross-dressed, and when I was doing my research, I didn't realize just how much they cross-dressed. They cross-dressed a lot, frequently and often. Don't know if they're a thing or if they were ever a couple, but I think the evidence here provided speaks for itself. Going on into Tulio and Miguel, another dynamic duo. They swam naked together in one scene of The Road to El Dorado. They probably had something going on with Chell as well, like a polyamorous couple of some kind. Everyone onto themselves. Next, Miss Frizzle, my favorite. Drives a school bus, owned a lizard. Miss instead of Miss. We know what's up. I think the rainbow was the first really subtextual evidence of Miss Frizzle being a lesbian icon. So Haruka, or Sailor Uranus, that's her name. The dub kind of made it awkward because they tried to imply that these two were cousins. I don't know if you hold your cousin's hand or touch their thigh like that, but I really hope that you don't. And if you do, I will maybe be calling the police very soon. Yeah. Next week, okay, I'm not even gonna try and explain this one. They got fucking married. I don't know why, like, I need to even provide evidence. They had the biggest married couple vibe in the universe. Auntie Pleakley and Uncle Jumba, are you kidding me? No, we're skipping to the next. Okay, Shigo from Kim Possible. This is another that I think the screenshots should speak for themselves. Yeah, no, there's a lot of touching between these two women. As you can see, there's a very tasteful boob touch here at this point in the presentation. Yeah, no, this was a piece that I particularly was interested in and I thought was edited for a moment. Turns out it's not edited. That is a real scene from the show. And then finally some honorable mentions, such as XJ9 or Jenny, as My Life as a Teenage Robot, or the fucking mom from Rugrats, or another dynamic duo. Yeah. Thank you.
Today, I will be presenting my dissertation on how Bernie Sanders can still win the console wars and analysis. First, we must ask, how did we get here? How did we get to the point where we are now as a nation? As you can see, the following map is an electoral map in which gray represents gaming. Now, using complex statistical analysis, we can use this to come to the conclusion that America equals 100% gamer. However, we all remember the Great Gaming War of 2016. This was a brutal time for our gamer nation. Many lives were lost. Many people were angry. How did we get to the downfall of our gamer union? Very smart and well-played political gaming analysts confirm that the very first disagreement between people occurred in 2016 during the Great Gaming War. It all started with this man, Donald the Trombolini, who ran his entire campaign based on the very appealing to a subset of gamers with the very specific claim that we should make Halo be developed by Bungie instead of 343 Industries and also make the franchise Xbox exclusive again, please and thank you again. But in the last 4 years since the gaming war, it turns out that Trump was lying the whole time. He wasn't actually a gamer. In fact, the only game he had ever played was his own board game published by Milton Bradley in sometime in 1963 or something. Anyway, next slide. Okay. Okay. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. Okay. Now here is our challenger, the man who will be able to join together our gaming nation. Okay, I didn't put that there. That's rude. So I'd like to give a little background into Senator Bernie Sanders' experience with gaming. Now, in past gaming wars, he has taken a relatively independent approach. He, in fact, does not conform to any mainstream ideologies in the gaming sphere. So he is an independent gamer with varied taste, with such influences as Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and, to appeal to the older generation, Uno. However, as we all know, Bernard Sanders is a PC gamer at heart. he in fact supports the full democratization of the gaming landscape. Now, why is it that our beautiful Bernard Sanders is not fighting Dongo Trumbo right now? Well, in fact, it has to do with Mr. Job. Mr. Job is an old money man. He has boomer taste and famously said in front of his Nintendo funders that no IPs will fundamentally change. Now, this is not the way to go to join our gamer union back together. So the plan will be a 3-tier strategy. Step number 1, guerrilla marketing. So my prediction with this is that he'll have to get down in the streets, which means he may have to follow in the footsteps of the more radical wing of the gaming landscape. So he may have to bite the bullet and play Leagues of the Legends. Or he could continue posting Minecraft Let's Plays, because they are in fact very good. Bernie Sanders' next step would be to preach the good word of PC gaming and reject the gaming binary, offering true gamer rights. Number 3, he must hire Hideo Kojima to make the United States the most immersive open-world stealth action experience in gaming history. Also to keep him busy so he doesn't do it again. With these tips, our gamer union will be immortal. Thank you.
Oh, God. Can everyone hear me okay? Can everyone see me okay? All right, good. Give me a thumb. All right. Thank you. All right, everyone. So today we're going to be speaking on actually a very important issue that's near and dear to my heart. The public reception of perfect peak cinema. Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed in the eyes of the public. So let's just get this going. A little bit of background. This is a 2004 American CGI classic. It's a sequel to just Scooby-Doo, which was made in 2002, and it was written by James Gunn. You may know him from his lesser work, which he wrote Guardians of the Galaxy. But I think nothing could top this brilliance in his career. It did gross a little bit less than the original movie, and much like the Sex and the City movie franchise, the third movie they were going to make was canceled, unfortunately. Big blow to all of us Mystery Machine fans out there, but the reason I love this movie is more so the cast, right? So let's go through the cast really quick. We have Shaggy, played by God himself, Matthew Lillard, praise be unto him, and he's just phenomenal. Linda Cardellini is just as Velma is beautiful, amazing. Daphne is played by Sarah Michelle Gellar. You may know her as Buffy. Fred is played by Freddie Prinze Jr., who you might know as Sarah Michelle Gellar's husband. But of course, a really show-stopping cameo performance from American Idol Season 2 winner Ruben Studdard. So this lineup is phenomenal. But the question is not what it did for me. I'm not worried about what this movie meant to me. I'm worried about what it meant to the people, to the public, to the world, you know? So how was it received? I'm so glad that you asked. Thank you to Google Reviews, we can see. A man named Lackland said, "This film completely changed the way I watch movies. Some of the scenes were so engaging and the CGI Scooby is lifelike. I would compare the CGI film to Jurassic Park or Star Wars. I showed this movie to my dying grandma, and she was healed of her illness 2 days later." So a beautiful story, really. Saskia said, "This is art in its purest form. I used to live on the streets, struggling with depression and addiction. And upon viewing this film, my eyes were open, and I ascended into a higher plane of existence. I now live a reformed life. I woke up." It's moving. P.S. I normally only open my legs for Jesus, but female Shaggy got me change in my mind. Winky emoticon. Simon said, "As a single father that has been through 75 marriages, I was able to cope with my failures through therapy with this movie. Shaggy unleashes a side I have never seen before. A classic. I couldn't agree more. Victor says, I love it. Shaggy made my fry ends hard. Scooby was godlike. Ella said, 5 stars, really good. Hot Shaggy, hot Velma, hot Scoob, overall hot and awesome. I couldn't agree more, Ella. Leroy said, this is the best, unlike a 51 man watching it. Grady said, epic movie, so scary I pissed my pants. Isaac said, tis movie made my cold spaghetti warm. Lick a microwave. Another Isaac said, this movie is the key to world peace. It actually was brought forward by the UN, but we didn't see that go far. Joshua said, zoinks, Scoob has a thickie. Scoob has a thickie, TBH. So Scoob is an animated dog. Let me reiterate that. Cameron said, 10 out of 10, Shagusi is hot. Hot. And then Cunning Zan really brought to light a great conversation. So most believe that men such as Picasso, Da Vinci, Van Gogh, and Shakespeare were true artists and some of the best the human race had to offer. But little did they know, something far greater and more powerful than anything a normal human being could ever comprehend would spawn into being the year 2004. And that was none other than the god known as Shaggy's second film, Shaggy's Goo 2, Cthulhu Unleashed. This movie actually has an interesting backstory. Google has it all wrong. This movie wasn't filmed or paid for like the first. This is actually how it was made. After seeing Scooby-Doo 2, the god Shaggy was greatly unimpressed with what his creations had made for him and threatened to destroy the earth in 10 years, 2012, if this disgrace and injustice was not undone. So a death cult of Shaggy worshippers known as Shaggy Snacks performed a mass sacrificial ritual on 100,000 mortals. Among these mortals was Tom Cruise. We all know, common fact, that the Tom we see today isn't real. After the ritual was completed, they piled the bodies and chained it in front of a burning cross made of buffalo wings and hot sauce. Oh, Shaggy, forgive us for our grave mistake and disgraces we have brought to your name. Take our virginities and our souls, feast on our thought buttocks, and send us to the pit we can call upon the ancient ones. For in trade for us, we wish to give Shaggy the gift a god can only dream of. Yakka, yakka, wacka, wacky, yoinks, jinkies, I lost my Twinkies, my glasses. A large flash of lightning struck them, and all the worshippers were taken up to Shaggy to become his slave, while the bodies vanished, leaving behind a mysterious disc behind. It was written with the blood, SD2MU, and it was left unknown until it was mysteriously started appearing in 2004. Beautiful. And lastly, Tree said, gave me a lot of childhood trauma. Smiley emoticon. So what can we gather from this analysis? Scooby-Doo 2, it's a fraught with rich themes, haunting images, and quasi-sexual commentary that leaves audiences with more questions than answers. It comments on how not dealing with your past can affect you and others in your present. It deals with breaking negative cycles of self-perpetuation, even when it seems impossible. And it deals with love, a whole lot of love. This is the perfect movie that will captivate audiences for decades to come and will always be in our heart and minds. Thank you.
Wow. Round of everyone give it up for Jackson. Wow.
This is not me. I give all the credit to the cast and production team of Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Thank you so much for that, Jackson. It looks like
Here's a second. Before questions start, I need to grab something really quick. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So Jackson doesn't have pants on, in case you guys didn't see that.
Okay. Sorry, what?
Today, boys and girls, we are going to be talking about the alphabet. And I really wish you guys would refer to me by my full name. I am Sean Kennedy the Hedgehog, not Chris the Hedgehog. I'm really sick of people calling me Chris the Hedgehog. That's not my name. We're going to go through the alphabet. So we're going to start with the letter A. Okay. Have you ever heard of this letter? A is for apple. pretty self-explanatory, very easygoing, very simple, yummy fruit. Sonic in the Archie comics really loves to eat apples. Okay, B. B is for beer. Alcoholic only if you're 21 plus, which I know none of you guys are yet. But when you're old enough and you drink beer, that's something Knuckles likes to do a lot. And when Knuckles does it, he really becomes the character that we know as Knuckles, and not the Knuckles that we don't see in Sonic 2. Sonic 2 and Knuckles. So the next one is C. C is for... Who the fuck did this? Go away, Chris! All right, let's try this again. Okay, C is for... There we go. That's how I wanted to do it. Chris, you're a fucking cunt. I want you to kill yourself. All right, get on, Chris. Next, D. D is for dogs. I also wanted, though, I was thinking about doing dick. So I picked a dog with a really huge schlong. And I think that works. So let's go on to E. E is for eggs. Eggs are breakfast food. They're yummy. Sonic and Amy make them in the morning every day before they go out to Green Hill Zone to run. Let's talk about F. F is for France. Did you know that Sonic has been to France? He ran there when he dropped down on the Earth in the Sonic movie that just came out. He ran all the way across the world and back into the car when they were driving through Montana. So he visited France on the way, and he got a baguette and ate it. So let's talk about G. G is for grout. Grout is a really bad disease. Grout will kill people, man. It really fucks up your hands, and it really messes up your feet. And Sonic knows this really well because Sonic's feet are lumpy and gross because Sonic himself has grout. And that's why 2D Sonic had to retire and 3D Sonic was born, because that's Sonic's son and that he had with Amy Rose. And so 3D Sonic doesn't have grout. But you don't want to get grout. All right, let's talk about H. Oops, we skipped it. H is for hell. You don't want to go there. Sonic went there once in Sonic 06 for the Xbox 360, but it was not good. I is for Idaho. In the Sonic movie that just came out in motion picture theaters, Sonic is living in Montana for a while, and they have to drive to San Francisco. And the way you get to San Francisco from Montana is you have to drive through Idaho. Therefore, Sonic has been to Idaho, and he likes the potatoes that they have in Idaho. Okay. J is for Germany. Germany is a country in Europe, also like France. You can see France is on the map. There's a lot of cities in Germany. Some of them include I think Prague is in Germany. Whatever. Let's go to the next one. K is for Kramer. Kramer was a character on the hit TV show Seinfeld. He recently got in trouble because the actor who played Kramer was caught on video saying the N-word, and that wasn't good. And so Kramer is not relevant anymore, but Kramer used to play Sonic. L is for larks. Larks are birds. M is for Mary, the Virgin. We really appreciate the Virgin Mary and everything that she does in our lives, you know. She gave birth to Jesus, which is, of course, the developer of Sonic at Sega of America, USA. So hats off to Sonic Team, hats off to Mary. I appreciate everything that they did for the Sonic franchise. N is for Nagel. You know where this is. This is a place. This is a place at the University of Denver, at this place, this is where a lot of Sonic is played, especially in the room 510, which is where I used to live, and we used to play Sonic all the time on our dummy thick TV that was too big. O is for oceans. This is the Atlantic Ocean. Sonic ran across the Atlantic Ocean to get to Europe in the major motion picture Sonic the Hedgehog. P is for pussy. Sonic is a big fan of cats. He's a hedgehog, but cats are a type of animal that also exists in the Sonic universe. And Sonic has dated a couple cats on a couple occasions in the comics and also on the Sonic show that was on Disney X for a while. We really appreciate Sonic's love of cats. Q is for Quake. This is a game developed by id Software. Was one of the early like first-person shooters, and it was really good. But Sonic unfortunately did not make a cameo in Quake. And the developers wanted to put him in there, but Sega said that Sonic couldn't be in there. And I think that to this day, I still think that was a major, major blunder on behalf of Sega. We could have had Sonic shoot guns, which was something that happened later in the Shadow the Hedgehog video game for the GameCube. R is for Reach, which is to say Halo Reach, which is the last Halo game developed by Bungie. They also wanted to put Sonic in, but this was after Shadow the Hedgehog came out, and it didn't do very well. And so Sega was like, never again with guns. But they were like, what about killing aliens? But Sonic in the TV show is friends with aliens. So we believe that because Sonic is friends with aliens, he would have fought for the Covenant, and so he should be an enemy in Halo. S is for shit. A lot of people think that the Sonic games aren't very good, and this is what I send to them every single time, because that argument is shit. The Sonic games are so well done and they're so good, and honestly, it just gets on my nerves whenever anybody disses Sonic. People thought that S would be for Sonic, of course, but whenever I didn't want to make it too obvious what I was going to do, so S is for shit. T is for turfs. We don't like those at all. Let's just hold on. We got to unsonic for a second. Turfs are a really, really big problem. This includes people like J.K. Rowling, who, Harry Potter was never good in the first place, so it's no skin off my back because Sonic's the only good piece of media to ever come out. But Sonic is not made by turfs, and I think that that's a very important thing that we need to pay attention to, because turfs are bad. It's just bad. So we need to get rid of them. And the way to do that is by playing more Sonic. So U is for the United Arab Emirates. This is a country in the Middle East that Sonic has visited. He ran up the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world, and is in the United Arab Emirates in the city of Dubai. Fun fact about the United Arab Emirates, all of their infrastructure was built by Bin Laden Construction. And yes, that is the same Bin Laden. Just fun fact. V is for ventricles. Those are part of your heart. In order to do cardio, you have to you have to be able to run. Running is something that's good for your heart. And Sonic's heart doesn't look like this. This is a diseased heart. I literally searched heart disease. And so this is not what Sonic's heart looks like, but he does have good heart. W is for waterboarding. This is against the Geneva Conventions and is a really horrible thing, but the United States still refuses to ban it in war situations and won't close Guantanamo Bay. And I just think that is really, really just a horrible, horrible thing that they won't do it. Sonic is very much against waterboarding. And so let's move on. X is for Xerneas. He's a Pokemon. And there was a Pokemon crossover with Sonic, and it's called Super Smash Brothers. And in that game, Sonic can fight Xerneas, and he wins every time because he's more powerful than the most powerful Pokemon. And so Xerneas is weak, Sonic is strong. And I'm sick of these people saying Xerneas is legendary because he's just not. Y is for Youth Soldiers. I'm getting really tired of seeing this is what people who are against the idea of people coming out to fight on the battleground of Sonic. You know, who cares if someone is 12 years old? If they're passionate about Sonic, let them argue in the chat about Sonic. You know, we need as people to fight for the cause of Sonic as young as possible. I'm not referring, of course, to actual issues of young people being enlisted in militaries offline, though the picture might make you think of that. But no, I'm not referring to that. That's bad. But if we can get I mean, look, the only cause worth killing for is whether or not Sonic is good. And let's let everybody engage in that conversation, I say. Y is for, whoops, let's go back. Z is for Zoom. We're all on Zoom. Did you know that we can use this website to spread ideas? Anyway, that's my presentation. Thank you very much.
All right, so hello, my name is Maxwell. Today I'll be teaching you men how to get the ladies like I do. You see, my roommates can attest to that my room is like a revolving door of women. I had to beg some ladies to leave me available this evening to teach you these techniques. And so for the beautiful ladies out there that this presentation isn't for, we can talk after the show. So today's seminar will be the foundation of getting women, how to be attractive to women, how to start the conversation, and the basics on how to have great sex. So the first step to being a female magnet is your looks. You see, women value your physical appearance more than anything when you first engage them. So you need to change up your look in a few ways. So you need to get a new wardrobe, get new shoes, new designer clothes, a new hairstyle, and even build a workout routine. By changing your style dramatically, you can build a new persona when you go out and meet women. New you, new results. Now this sounds a little odd, but talk to strangers. Talk to the barista, the bus driver, the Uber driver. By building your social skills, specifically your smart talk, you can get into conversations with women and have a smooth beginning and transition to more in-depth topics. So we need to talk about status. Women are attracted to men who are at a perceived higher status. You need to act like you have money, like you have looks, and status when you don't have it. It's a delicate combination of physical attractiveness, wit, and intelligence. Women will evaluate these qualities and set expectations of your relationship. You may wonder why broke, greasy guitar players in the park get lots of babes. Well, his behavior is what gets women. He acts like he has all the money he needs, and that's enough for an express trip to the bedroom. So now, how do you start the conversation? After your makeover, you're now in the club. Across the bar, you see a perfect 10 out of 10 girl waiting to get another tequila sunrise. Now is the time to strike. From here on, I'll be referring to women as targets. There's a few different ways to start the encounter. You can go the easy route and say, "Hi, how are you?" It's tried and true and guaranteed to work with anybody on earth. Next, you could go with the deeper route and ask an opinion. You can ask an opinion question to get past the small talk and right into the in-depth conversations. Next, you can go with a dirty pickup line. Now, these are pretty risky because it can very easily offend who you're talking to. But if you do it right, it will pay off well. Or you can use the advanced technique called negging to have the highest chance of securing the target. The technique that's critical to my teachings is what's called negging. The media has greatly distorted what negging is, so let me tell you the truth. Let's use this tagline as an example. First, this lowers their confidence. This isn't as mean as it sounds. All hot women have a barrier of being holier than men. To get to the real woman underneath, you need to break this shield. By negging her, you seem to be in a higher social status, yet you aren't trying hard to impress her. Because you are impressing her like every other beta male, she'll pay attention to you and wonder why you aren't being submissive in this encounter. Now that she's listening, you can use the time to compliment her. However, you must always make sure to neg her again, lest she bring her shield back online. Now, the following is a variety of negging lines you can use, but in practice, they should always be custom to the target that you are locked onto. It's very important that you do this because if you do it for every single girl, it'll get a little bit stale. And some of these are my favorites, such as, "You're really going to eat all of that, and you look just like my sister." Some of my favorite lines I like to use. So now, Sex 101. So I don't want to get into a lewd discussion, so I won't go into gratuitous detail. But first, you need to become the alpha. All these steps have been leading up to this point. You only need to seize the moment. And listen, you think that all women are some unsolvable mystery, but the real truth is that all women are exactly the same. Any techniques you use with one target will work with another. And it is in a fact that in the bedroom, all men are dominant and women are submissive. Use this to your advantage. Now, here are some general tips to sex. Like I said, I won't go into detail, but if anyone would like further explanation after the seminar, I would love to help. First, take control. Women are factually sexually submissive, like I just went over. Next, you need to screw her mind. The alpha knows that dirty talk is the key to great sex. And listen, kings, the size of your urusu doesn't matter. The size of the member varies between all alpha males, so be confident in what you have. And if you're following all of these tips, you're probably going to probably going to build up an ego. But don't let that happen. If you get too cocky, then everything will just fall apart. And now I apologize. I can't seem to find the chat, but now I'm gonna have to tease you a little bit here that if you want to have access to all of my pro tips, I will send a link in the chat shortly after to my book that lists out all these techniques that are proven to be effective. Thank you for listening to this seminar, and remember that everything in this PowerPoint were real things that real people believe that I found at these sources. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Today, we're going to be going over a brief case study that I like to call, Does Arby's Really Have the Meats? We're really going over, I think this is an important topic to discuss because, no one goes to Arby's that I know of. So I think this is a really interesting topic. So we're just going to go on to the next slide here. So here's some questions that I think we should be asking ourselves. Why would anyone in their right mind go to Arby's? It's a very important question. Also, following that up, who still goes to Arby's? Also, why? Why is Arby's still in business? And also, why? So let's look at some statistics here. Just some things that I've observed in my research about the Arby's franchise. According to a recent article published by the CNBC, Arby's has 3,450 locations in 8 countries with a total of 80,000 employees. Their annual sales is $3.9 billion. Okay, Arby's is also under the wing of a multi-brand restaurant company called Inspire Brands, which is originally named Arby's, like the whole franchise. They also own Buffalo Wild Wings, Sonic, and Rusty Taco for a total of 8,300 locations worldwide. Let's talk about what kind of meats do they have. There's actually been a lot of controversy regarding this topic. Lots of speculation suggesting that Arby's meat is actually made from an imitation meat derived from liquid gels and pastes. Now, the current CEO has actually denied this claim, saying that the meat is fully 100% natural roast beef. However, he did say that they preserve their meat in like a liquid bag for like 3 to 4 days before they roast it. So still a little bit of a concern there. Still not really sure why. Now, let's crunch some numbers here, shall we? Comparing Arby's to other Inspire Brands branches and franchises. So Arby's annual sales, like I said, was $3.9 billion last year. Buffalo Wild Wings made $1.99 billion. And from 2016 to 2018, Sonic generated a revenue of $423 million. I can't read numbers. Okay. Anyways, so the real question we should be asking ourselves here, ladies and gentlemen, is how is Arby's making more than both these restaurants combined? The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is clear and simple. Arby's is laundering money underneath our very noses. I'd encourage you all to open your eyes. Think about the last time you or your loved ones or anyone you know has gone to an Arby's. I can't think of one for one, but I would like you to consider this. There's no way that they're making more money than the Sonic franchise when they have a 50-cent corn dog day in the summer. Not to mention, Sonic has happy hours every day from 2 to 5 p.m., half-price slushies. I hail from Parker, Colorado. Every white kid and their brother went after school to Sonic and hung out there for way too long. Yeah, I don't see any cars in the Arby's parking lot. I'll tell you that much. Here's my conclusion for you guys. I'd like you all to consider this. Arby's does not, in fact, have the meats. As a matter of fact, they have the opposite of meat, considering what they put their meat in. They have too much money, and no one goes there, so why are they still functioning as a business franchise? Why? Now, I don't know all the answers, but I do know this. The last time I went to an Arby's was probably when I was like 3 years old with my dad. The only people that go there are 50 and up. You can't change my mind otherwise. There is absolutely no way that Arby's is not laundering money. I'd like for you to change my mind. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my presentation. Here are my sources. And now I'd like to open up the chat for questions. Thank you so much.
I'm not wearing a suit. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just an average guy with average problems. And we're going to find out what those average problems are. I'm going to Need a Will by Alek Seballes. Now, stay with me, folks, because it's not where you think it's going to go. Why? That's a very good question. In fact, I started asking myself this exact same thing, and it led me to a mysterious place. The Wild, Wild West. Where the day takes you. Independence Day. Now, you may see in front of you 3 movies that share nothing in common, but I see something different. They do share something in common. One glorious man. Will Smith. Now, the thing with Will Smith is these movies also have one defining trait. They are action movies. And I'm here to make the statement that Will Smith is not an action movie star. In fact, he has deprived us of his greatest role, his most prized role, that we must see a return to in 2020. And that is Hitch, the rom-com of the year. Have you ever seen Hitch? I have. I watch it every year, Valentine's Day. Why? Because it's the only one that holds up. Why is that? Because it's got everything you could ask for. Will Smith. So, with that being said, where has Will Smith been all these years? He's been making films with his son? So. He made I Am Legend. Alright. It was recently in a YouTube rewind that was... So, what do we need? I ask you, what is it that the people are hungry for? What are the people desperate for? My friends, my countrymen, listen to me when I say we will fill every belly on this planet emotionally. How are we going to do that? I've already mentioned Hitch. I've already explained to you that Hitch is something that can not only unify a country, but the whole world. Ladies and gentlemen, and non-identifying members of the audience, let us celebrate Hitch again, together, with one common goal. Hitch 2. It's got everything you could possibly want and so much more. You thought they solved it the first time around, but I have something more to tell you. They didn't, but they're going to in Hitch 2. So, join in me and call out not only to God, who is witnessing this very thing, but all of your fellow countrymen, world members, and crazy family members. We need Hitch 2. Thank you. Any comments? Any questions? Any concerns? Let me know. I'm here to talk.
Hi. Before I start, I'd just like to say James Gunn's Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed is the best James Gunn movie. That's just because Suicide Squad's not out yet, baby. James Gunn is directing Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad 2, the Suicide Squad, coming out 2021. Will it be good? Probably not. Am I excited? Yes. Are my roommates upset about how much I talk about it? Also, yes. What's different than the original Suicide Squad? As I already said, this is the Suicide Squad. Very important. Is it a sequel? Also, yes. Why did they name it like this? I don't know. Returning characters. Jai Courtney returns as Captain Boomerang, a guy who fights the fastest man alive with a couple of wooden sticks. Harley Quinn. Again, she's in all of them. Amanda Waller, the government, who cares? Rick Flag, he's just a soldier. Get him out of here. New characters. This is the biggest group of chuckle fucks that I've ever been in a movie. All of them, most of them are going to die, and I can guarantee 100% Nathan Fillion's character is going to die. I'll get to that later. First of all, we're going to talk about Polka Dot Man. What is he? He's got polka dots on his shirt. In his original appearance in the 60s, that camp era of comics, All he did was he had a bunch of polka dots that he could turn into like vehicles and weapons and stuff. And he was like a legitimate engineer who made super weapons. And then when he showed up again, he hit a cop with a baseball bat, and then a different cop beat him up. Nathan Fillion's character, as I said before, he's a corpse already. We don't know who it is. TDK, not a character that exists already. But we do know one thing about it. Look at that picture of him. His arms are cut off. You know what that means? He's actually everybody's favorite character, Arm Fall Off Boy. Who is he? He hits people with his own arm that he rips off of his body and then uses like a club. Why does he exist? Now, on a more serious note, not all of these characters are complete fools. Bloodsport, for instance, is a good character. He's a guy who was driven mad by guilt after his brother took his place in the Vietnam War, lost all his limbs, and then he tried to take down the entire establishment until his brother came up and told him not to do it. It's a good character. It's a sort of a heartwarming story, but at the same time, he shot a bunch of people. But then there's also Javelin, a guy with a pointy stick who fought the Green Lantern, a guy who can make whatever he can imagine, and this guy won. King Shark. He's first of all, he's the prince of the sharks. Let's just leave that there. His entire point is he commits murders based off his father to keep order in their domain. And then next to him, in the same group, is Weasel, a Weasel Man. He's a Weasel Man. That's it. We've got a lot of other characters. Savant, Hacker, Old. Ratcatcher 2, Pied Piper, but wearing a gas mask. Mongal, whose Wikipedia page, the first sentence and the only important description it gives is she's the daughter of a guy named Mongol. That's it. The Thinker, Peter Capaldi, he was on Doctor Who. Now he has wires in his head. Solsoria, not a character that exists. Don't know who she is. Peacemaker, they put John Cena in this movie. He plays a character who he describes as a douchey Captain America in the only trailer that exists. And his entire point is he shoots people to cause peace. I don't know if he knows how guns works. Blackguard, played by Pete Davidson. His entire point is he's just a mercenary but stupid. He once made a deal with the devil, not to be smart, but to not be stupid. So he was just average intelligence. In conclusion, a lot of the characters are dumb, but I like them. I'm going to watch the movie and I'm going to cry if it's bad. Thank you for your time.
Welcome, everyone, to a very enlightening presentation. Today, I'd like to begin by sharing you a story about Fist, an examination. We're going to go a bit in depth here. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna figure out what is Fist. All right, we're gonna do it together. There it is. Wow, Fist. What is Fist? That's a good question. We need to know. Well, there it is right there. I found it. Fist is a powerful hand. Very, very, very strong, very powerful. When the fist goes, it goes. And nothing can stop it because it's Fist. It's also beautiful. When I look at a fist, I see an image created by God, something that has really come together to bestow art upon the land. That is Fist. What it do, though? It's a good question. What do the fist do? Well, I'll tell you what the fist do. It does a little spin. Come out of the ground, does a little spin. It's pretty incredible, really, what a fist is capable of. What else can it do? It can smack. Boom. Smack. Simple, right? Everyone thought of that one. What else? Mash the potato. Grind up a tasty treat. Pain? I think so. Pain can definitely be done by fist. More? Scientists are still figuring this one out, but we think there's room for some sort of activity involving fists with the lights off. We're still examining. Popular media fists. We have the bro fist. Everyone knows the bro fist. Everyone used to love the bro fist. Unfortunately, PewDiePie, the bro fist user, is an anti-Semite. Or a Semite, yeah. Very, very sad about that. Luckily, the left-wing politician Bernie Sanders has come to reclaim the fist. These are the only two instances of the fist in popular media, by the way. There are absolutely zero others, which is a shame if you ask me. I think that the beautiful, strong power of the fist can be utilized by some groups for good, and I support Bernie Sanders in his efforts to use that fist as a symbol. Can it get any better, though? Fist's pretty good. Well, it definitely can get better. Let me tell you, it does get better. Behold, Big fist. There it is, everyone. Big fist. That's you. That's big fist. Look at that. That's insane. That's so beautifully big and bulging fist. Everyone, I'd like to say thank you. And if everyone could gather around and engage with me, I would like to do a little customary action that known fist scientists and studiers are able to do. And yeah, that was beautiful, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. That's so beautiful. All right. Any questions about fist, everyone? We've got a lot of good research here. I would love to help explain some of the scientists' thought process behind what they're thinking about.
Well, with that, guys, that concludes our presentations for tonight. Round of applause for everyone who participated. We got a wide variety of beautiful, beautiful works from everyone. Lots of great perspectives on things. Very educational. Thank you all for everything.